And just so you know, no, in terms of sales, Jollibee has $3 billion of sales in a year. This is a far cry because Dunkin' Brands has 11 billion, Subway has 18 billion, Restaurant Brands, which owns Burger King, Popeye's Kitchen, and Tim Hortons has 30 billion, Yum Brands is $35 billion, and McDonald's has $86 billion. These are as of 2017 sales. So malayong malayo si Jollibee in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Para maging number 5 si Jollibee, it has to be about $10 billion of sales. Now, in terms of the US market, bakit ba binili ni Jollibee ang smash burger? Now, you could see that in the USA, it is a burger market and McDonald's has $33 billion or 33% of that entire pie. Then the second is Wendy's, Restaurant Brands, which is Burger King. You've got Sonic, you've got CKE, you have Jack in the Box. I think nandito pa sa others, si Shake Shack. So maliit din si Shake Shack in terms of the pie. Sila in and out, nandito yan sa mga others. So Jollibee is saying that they want to turn Smash Burger into a strong company, successful. But so far, we see that of course, what we know in the future is that di pa natin talaga masabi. But so far, in 2019, 2020, we're seeing a lot of losses in the Jollibee's acquisition of Smash Burger brand. Of course, in terms of M&A by deal value, Jollibee Foods actually bought Smash Burger noong 2018. There are companies that big companies bought. Jab Holdings bought Panera Bread. Jollibee was looking to buy Panera Bread pero masyadong mahal kaya tinanggihan niya. Arby's bought Buffalo Wild Wings. QSR bought Popeye's Kitchen. Post Holdings bought Bob Evan Farms. Pershing Square Capital, which is a hedge fund owned by Bill Ackman, owns 10% of Chipotle Mexican Grill. Now, Jollibee has been seeking Mexican fast food chain. That's the Tortas. And then it's good to know na Jollibee actually managed to grow 20% noong 2018 even with rising inflation. Now, updated, as of August 1, 2019, Jollibee has trained its sites in Indonesia. So you could see that Jollibee is doing an ASEAN move, no? May Vietnam, may Indonesia, and their play in Indonesia is to acquire the US chain Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf because Indonesia has a very significant footprint with over 100 stores in Coffee Bean alone. Jollibee has 4 years been planning to bring the Chicken Joy in Indonesia. So they might want to bring that through the Indonesian, through the Coffee Bean Tea Leaf branches. We'll see how they do that. But that is a play that Jollibee could be doing for Indonesia. Coffee Bean gives us an immediate presence in Indonesia, which we will expand our business over time. Purchase of money-losing Coffee Bean from the private equity firm Advent International was its largest foreign acquisition to date. Coffee Bean has 100 outlets in Indonesia among its 1,189 branches across 27 countries. Jollibee wants to turn around Coffee Bean and make it profitable in 18 months. Of course, we know na hindi ganun kadali. So we're seeing that this 18 months time frame could extend to about 36 months. We'll see. But so far, their CEO is saying that the Jollibee CBTL marriage, the firm aims to really see their business sales go from 25% current na foreign to be as big as 50% for 3 to 5 years. Kasi 27% ngayon. Jollibee wants to aspire to be a big fast food firm delving into a coffee market where Starbucks and Tim Hortons is a competitor. Coffee is a very big market and so they want to be there. Now, ang dami nating kwento. So far, we know na as of 2019, Jollibee's income dropped 34%, no? From 300, bumaba si Jollibee ng 225 after the acquisition of CBTL and the dismal results. The acquisition was CBTL, $350 million. Smash was $100 million. People assume na dire-diretso, no? We are seeing, why are we discussing Jollibee? Because Indonesia has 300 million people. The Chinese people are 1.5 billion. So CBTL and Dunkin' Brands, since China franchise sila ng Dunkin' Brands, you could say that Jollibee has been trying to make a play in the coffee war. Recent earnings results from Starbucks indicate to us that there is tremendous strength in the coffee. That's why even when you look at the Starbucks articles that we have, even if you go to the Starbucks annual report, you'll see na Jollibee is correct. The Chinese people are now learning to really become more coffee drinkers when they are tea drinkers. Pero even Starbucks made a hyper-localized menu. Kasi Starbucks in China has sesame frappuccino, aloe vera tea. So they really infuse a hyper-local attack so that the Chinese people will also go there. As you could see, is it logical to expand in China, Indonesia, Vietnam? Well, it's all about the GDP. China's GDP grew tenfold. 20 years ago, nobody can afford a $5 Starbucks coffee. Now, 100 million and people out of poverty could always afford a cup of coffee. So I think two countries are key. You could see that for Starbucks, they believe US and China is where they should grow. And Jollibee is really attacking almost the same play. And you can see na all the brands worldwide, pre-COVID to, because later I'll discuss COVID, the impact of COVID to the social distancing, to Jollibee and all these burger chains. You could see that pre-COVID, their system-wide sales were growing in normal times, nasa mga 15 to 20%. So really, that is a very, very strong sales count. Now, it's 2020. This is my most recent article for Jollibee. We said, why Jollibee deserves a long-term buy, steadfast discipline wins over quick fixes. Steadfast discipline. Now, if you can suspend your belief about the short-term horizon, decide to invest. If I have 50,000 pesos and I want to invest in the next 5 years or in the next 8 years, kasi naka-4 na dekada na si Jollibee. Let's say you want to enter Jollibee in the 42nd year to their 50th year, what are you getting yourself into? Let's go to the chart. Baka gustong-gusto nyo na tumingin ng chart. Pakita na rin natin. Okay, so makikita natin that Jollibee started at 9 pesos 60 cents in the last 1993. Ilo-long term ko kayo. Okay. So, sa last 25 years, there have been many crises. And this was something that I discussed. Nung Asian financial crisis, ang presyo ni Jollibee from 1997 peak of about 20, nasa mga, balikan natin ang lumang oras pa ng 20 years ago. Punta tayo sa monthly chart. 1993 to 2020, that means it's 27 years na. Sorry, tama na, 27. Tama pa naman yung math ko. So, nagkaroon ng stock split si Jollibee. So, makikita mo na ang makikita mong low dito ng Jollibee is nag-start with 6 pesos 35 cents. Nag 5 times your money in 5 years. From 6 pesos, umangat siya ng 30 pesos. Nagkaroon ng crisis, the 97 Asian financial crisis. Jollibee fell a 70% move. From 29 pesos, bumaba siya ng 9 pesos. It took over, nalagpasan niya itong 29 pesos na to after nung Asian crisis. Mula sa 10 piso, umangat siya ng 300% to 30. From 10 to 30 in about, this was 2000 to 2006, so that's 7 years. Nung good times when Jollibee started to really grow with the market, 30 to 2003, all the way to 2018, no? So, 15 years yan. Kahit na nung nagkaroon ng 2008 financial crisis, may kita mo ito, nagkaroon ng correction ang Asian financial crisis. Ito, Asian financial crisis. Ito naman ang global financial crisis. During the global financial crisis, Jollibee only dropped from peak to trough 46%. In fact, the low of that 2008 financial crisis was higher than the peak of 1997. In fact, ngayon din, even with the COVID crisis, so tingnan natin, umangat si Jollibee all the way from 10 pesos, from 6 pesos, all the way to 300 pesos. That's 50 times your money. From there on, since 2018, bumababa siya 70% because of massive foreign investments that have not borne fruit yet. Sabihin, nagplant siya ng seed sa mga Vietnam, Indonesia, USA. Hindi, yung iba, tumutubo yung plants. Yung mga US smash burger and coffee beans, hindi pa. Hindi pa tumutubo. Nagplant ka, wala kang maani. That the perception is that Jollibee made bad acquisitions, nag-drop ng yung bad acquisition, nag-drop si Jollibee from 340 to 200. Nagka-COVID ka, social distancing, Jollibee fell all the way to 95 pesos. So far, in one single month, Jollibee recovered to 136 pesos. Now, if you compare the low of Jollibee ngayong COVID, which is 95 pesos, it's higher than the 2007 peak. Let's say, minalas-malas ka, let's say, bumili ka sa peak ng Jollibee ng financial crisis time. Bumili ka somewhere dito sa 60 pesos, even nagkagulo na yung buong mundo, Jollibee managed to have a higher low. From 60 pesos, naging 90 pesos and fast recovery. So that tells you na from a long-term perspective, tatlong beses lang in the life of Jollibee that it fell this much. First, during the Asian financial crisis. Pangalawa, during the global financial crisis. And pangatlo, ito ang pinakamatinding pagsubok ng Jollibee sa buong 42 years of their life. How will they handle this COVID crisis? You'll notice na yung mga chicken sad moments, yung mga supply chain, baliwala yon. A few days lang, na-fix nila yon. Lahat ng mga krisis sa mundo, so far, this social distancing effect and the CBTL acquisition, the Smash Burger acquisition, is the biggest drop for Jollibee over its last 27 years life in the public markets. Okay, now that you know the history, okay, alam nyo na right now may crisis sa buong mundo, the COVID-19. The choice to invest in restaurants is not because we do not believe that they will do well in the short term. In fact, we actually think that the target upside will be sold by most traders after a resistance is found, which is 50% or 100% higher from the lows. Meaning, if Jollibee goes to 135 to 180, we know that there will be sellers from those who bought at 90 and 100 pesos. However, what compels us to discuss not just the short-term resistance, but the potential long-term trajectory is because we believe that maybe in the next 2 to 5 years' time, you might see Jollibee surprise on the upside if Jollibee Vietnam recovers well than expected, if CBTL Indonesia recovers better than expected, if social distancing man, we continue to patronize Jollibee, whether takeout delivery and so forth. In fact, we also said there is victory in steadfast discipline than a quick fix. If you commit to excellence in systems, we believe that you will defeat the best trader in the world. The reason to invest will come from these things: the leader, the process, the culture, the system. Now, we know that people are questioning these acquisitions. The coffee bean tea leaf, the smash burger, these are question marks amongst investors. Now, what we do not believe on is that the data will never lie. Jollibee's success did not come overnight. It was proven through the growth of stores, the growth of cash flows, and the undeniably strong corporate and shareholder allegiance. You don't go from one Jollibee store to 1,000 Jollibee stores or 10,000 store network, 75% in the Philippines with very high sales, 20% in the last same store sales for the last 20 years. That's unimaginable. Even even truer, in the COVID-19, we said that Jollibee had an impact on their cash flows. But with strong corporate and shareholder allegiance, the company even paid 62 cents cash dividend, despite knowing that the circumstances of COVID-19 will definitely affect their sales and their earnings. Now they believe that this is lower than their past few years, but they declared the cash dividend in order to serve all their stockholders even in the middle of a crisis. This tells you that Jollibee never missed a dividend in the last 26, 27 years of their life, and they don't plan 2020 COVID not to pay dividends even during COVID time. What you could see here is that great companies have tangible evidence of delivering results over time, not overnight. The credibility might be questioned, but there's nothing impossible to this company. In the COVID-19, of course, this is what you know. Jollibee was the first selling ready-to-cook food. You could always buy your Chicken Joy in the humble supermarket. Now, you have to remember Jollibee started in this very humble store, Magnolia store. It was an ice cream store. Now it's the global undisputed brand, well loved all over the world. In the Philippines, we always tell this to our children. Jollibee has even defeated McDonald's in the Philippines. Jollibee has repeatedly reaped praises not just from Filipinos, but Chinese, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Middle East, internationally. Now I know this is not a research report. This is just me mostly talking like a love letter part in me. But what I really like about Jollibee is that they made people such as Filipinos believe that anything is possible. For you to overthrow McDonald's, which is the number one in all countries, that is a magnanimous feat. Brand X brand, Jollibee lang hapsarap. Diyan magaling si Jollibee. Marketing. May maganda siyang product at kaya niyang kwentong Jollibee, how every Filipino will choose Jollibee. Even the children, if you ask them Chicken Joy or McDo, some would say Chicken Joy. That's how relevant Jollibee is in children's lives. Umulan, bumagyo. Nandito ang picture sa top gear. Isang Jollibee delivery, pumupunta siya para lang mapadalhan kayo ng Chicken Joy. Undergone all kinds of crises in the last 42 years. The pandemic will never stop Jollibee to exist no matter how long the DNA of a COVID will persist, di ba? They bring home some joy. Chicken Joy marinated frozen cut-ups in Robinson Supermarket, my free delivery with Food Panda. Of course, we know that Jollibee is the most mentioned company in the Philippines in terms of all Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Kaya nga when we check YouTube, anong gustong pakinggan ng tao? They want to hear our views on Jollibee stock. Franchise Excellence Award, Jollibee pa rin panalo. Inclusive business. In fact, Jollibee has also partnered with a lot of farmers. Jollibee as of 2015, I think, or 2016, you can check it, Jollibee Cargill. That means that they had a supply chain of chicken farms to serve you the Chicken Joy. Cargill has partnered with JFC for the formation of poultry processing facility in Santo Tomas, Batangas to integrate and ensure high quality and safe products. That was in Chicken Joy Supplier 2018, 2017. They opened the meat plant, the Philippines' biggest chicken plant all over the Philippines yan. So you could see na Jollibee is known worldwide. US is happy. Jollibee has been very good in their corporate social responsibility, the jollibeefoundation.org. And of course, we already showed you the YouTube video, Watch the 40 Years. Ang dami talaga, marami sinasabi, Jollibee ang tunay na masarap than McDonald's. So we when I talk about Jollibee, I can only tell you na in any economic situation, nalalagpasan ni Jollibee. So from a chart perspective, this is what we know for Jollibee. Currently, your support is standing at about 130. So let's go to the chart short term and long term para makita ninyo ang kabanata ni Jollibee. You could see that the 70% decline was bought by some bargain hunters. So at 95, 93, we saw the buyers step in. Nung nag-announce si Jollibee ng cash dividends, ito yung 110 peso move. From 110, umangat si Jollibee in just 5 days to 150. We think that this is profit-taking on the part of the people who bought low. So yan, nagpa-profit take sila. How do we know it's called profit-taking? Dahil bumabagsak ang presyo, bumababa ang volume. So it means na people are profit-taking. That is actually a bullish signal. How high can Jollibee go? How low can it also go? Sige, let's value it. In the short term, what you could see is February 20, let's go to February 20. That is the first eruption of the COVID in Italy. Na ibig sabihin, kumakalat ang COVID all throughout the world. So from 193, nangalahate si Jollibee to 90, we see resistance dito sa 155, 169, 190. In the short term, you have very strong support at 131 and mas malaking support at 114. So if you want to buy at the lowest price, you have to buy 115 to 131. Ngayon, kung sobrang hirap makabili sa 131, some people would value to buy even at 136 para lang makabili sila sa 114. Ano ang target ng tao? What you want to know is, will Vietnam recover? Will Philippines recover? Because 75% of Jollibee's sales continue to be in the Philippines. That's a huge, huge domestic sales. For those who don't know, ano yung reason bakit nag-aggressive si Jollibee? Four factors why Vietnam is the most growing Southeast Asian country. Sa Philippines ang malaki ang significant exposure sa Vietnam. Dalawa, it's Jollibee and URC. Malaki ang URC sa Vietnam. For those who don't know, isang miracle story tong Vietnam. Vietnam has grown dati 3 decades ago. $100 lang ang GDP per capita ng Vietnamese. Over 70% of its population lives in poverty. After that, 2000 to 2015, Vietnam has been growing 6.9% through the help of the 1986 Doi Moi capital reform, liberalization, privatization, diversification, with approximately 100 million people in Vietnam. Parang Pilipinas lang, ang daming tao dyan. Southeast Asian growth story si Vietnam. Over half of that population, 50 million under the age of 35, internet savvy, mobile adoption. Ibig sabihin, kung gusto nila kumain ng Jollibee delivery, marunong silang mag-food panda. Okay? Marunong silang mag-internet. And these people in Vietnam are actually expected to reach $12 billion or 5% of their GDP dahil matatalino tong mga to. Sila ay IT, internet economy, by 38% on an annualized basis since 2015. Vietnam, napakagaling ng tech talent nila. Ito ang classic na stereotype of every Southeast Asian startup. Naka-headquarter sa Singapore para maka-safety ng tax. Tina-target ang Indonesia kasi Indonesia ang pinakamaraming Asians na may consumer, 300 million in Indonesia. Designers in Thailand, BPO, customer service in the Philippines, engineers in Vietnam. Now, this is a stereotypical version, but it can show you na ASEAN play si Jollibee. malaki ang destination ni Jollibee sa Indonesia and Vietnam. And you could see that lahat ng mga companies such as IBM, Intel, Oracle, Samsung, even Grab has really become the home for Vietnam's 30,000 IT companies because of the young, low-cost workforce. Hindi lang sikat ang Vietnam sa low-cost labor, naging very strong siya dahil sa STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math over the last 15 years. So I would tell you na that is a very, very deep story to invest in Jollibee in the long term. Chicken Joy is a very strong brand, and I would say that kung tanggalin natin yung mga smash burger and kung mag-grow ng mabuti ang coffee bean in Indonesia, Jollibee can have a stronger than usual recovery. It can break 152. Maybe in the next 12 months, makaka-reach yan ng 180 to 190. It remains to be seen, no? Pero I know this is a long coverage, but I hope you learned something about this pride of the Philippines. Jollibee, JFC, Jollibee Foods Corporation, it's listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange. You can go to WealthSec. This is our brokerage firm. You can open an account here for 10,000 pesos, or you can open an account in any Philippine stock brokerage firm. Online, everyone who has 10,000 pesos can definitely buy a small position or a big position in companies you believe in. Definitely, we've seen in crisis times, Jollibee has persisted in the last 40 years. And I want to sign off with this tagline: the best way to help your business is to help the bottom line of a thousand ordinary investors. With that, I wish that you all go to our website www.awesome10x.com. My name is Nikki at Faces Trader. You can go to our blog for insights such as these. Check out our webpage, check out our YouTube channel, and see you again. Bye bye.